show them ideas and materials that they can take back to their schools and communities to share and help with them use what we do. And you can find more about at our website, teendriver411.com.
Okay. And that's going to be a one-day conference at Anoka High School?
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this, maybe not here earlier, but off camera, is that the applicants for the grants, it doesn't just have to be from people that are in the Anoka High School attendance area. It can be throughout the community, in fact, the Twin Cities. Is that right? As far as you know? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. At this time, we're going to cut to a public service announcement, and we'll be back in about 1 minute.
License and registration, please. So you've only been driving for 5 months?
Yeah, that's right.
You know you're only allowed one passenger until you have 6 months of experience, unless your parents are with you.
Oh my gosh. It all started with this. Then came QWERTY.
This is when you realize you must take back control.
Yes, but this is how it will change everything.
Red 116, ready, set.
What's the new play, Coach?
It's the 411 on the 116.
What?
It's the new teen driving law. Provisional licensed drivers, for the first 6 months, they're allowed to have one passenger and one passenger only.
So you need a parent or a guardian with you in the car.
Run it.
Hit the
411
on the 116.
Let's go, guys. We're gonna be late for the game. Come on, man.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'll put the pedal to the metal.
Whoa, slow down. I'd rather get to the game late and safe than get in a car crash.
That's right. More than 300,000 teens are injured in car crashes each year. Speak up. Tell your friends to slow down and take it easy when driving.
See ya. We're off to the Gophers game.
What are you waiting for? We're gonna miss the tip-off.
Well, we don't have our seatbelts on.
Yeah, so what?
So we can get there alive. Buckle up.
Keep your friends safe. 2/3 of the teens that were killed in car crashes did not wear seatbelts. Speak up. Tell your friends to buckle up.
Oh, I just got a text from the Gopher score.
Hey, keep your eyes on the road. I'll text him for you.
You all know 62% of the teenagers talk or text message on their cell phone while driving. You need to tell your friends to put the cell phone down. You know, the leading cause of death in teenagers is car crashes. 15 fatalities every day. You're a spokesperson. Speak up.
Welcome back to the District Court Show. I'm Judge Steve Halsey from Wright County, and the topic of this program is teen driving safety. And I've got a couple new guests up here at the podium, and that is, first of all, Gordy Pearson. And Gordy is a Youth Traffic Safety and Alcohol Coordinator for the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. So welcome, Gordy.
Thank you.
And Mitch Weinzettel, who is the Chief of Police for the City of Buffalo. And why don't we start first with you, Gordy, and kind of fill in our viewers on some of the changes in Minnesota driving laws, particularly texting and seatbelts.
Well, the texting law that took effect this last year actually involves all drivers, not just teen drivers. So it is against the law for any driver while in traffic. That includes stopped at traffic lights and all that kind of driving behavior. It's illegal for anybody to be texting, using a cell phone to access the internet, anything of that nature.
Okay. I did happen to look up the new law, and I believe it went into effect last July of 2008. And it does say basically anything other than making a cellular phone call, calling for emergency assistance, or if you feel that you're in immediate danger, any other texting or access to the web, like you said, is illegal, and it's a misdemeanor. It's not just a petty misdemeanor like a traffic ticket. And how about the seatbelt law?
Well, the primary seatbelt law was passed, and we certainly feel that's a great thing to have happen, and that means that everybody in every seating position in every vehicle needs to be buckled up. And of course, for the younger folks, that means that they would have to be, for the younger children, they would have to be in an approved car seat, and then a booster seat also for those that are kind of in between the age of getting out of a child seat, but yet not quite ready for a seatbelt without that lift up. So everybody in every position needs to be buckled up.
Okay. And then talk a little bit about the graduated driver's license laws. I know that the students from SAD have focused a lot on that, and in fact, I believe they were involved in talking to their legislators before the bill actually was passed.
Sure. Well, we've actually had a graduated driver licensing laws in the state of Minnesota since about 1999, I believe. But recently, the Minnesota legislature adopted two of the main provisions that have been proven in many, many other states to reduce traffic fatalities, injuries, and incidents among younger drivers. And that is a nighttime limitation and then limiting the number of passengers during the initial stages of licensure. So effective August of 2008, young drivers, once their first license for the first 6 months, can't drive between midnight and 5 a.m. unless they're with a licensed driver that's 25 or older. Now, there are some exceptions to that. For work purposes or school purposes, if the school doesn't provide transportation, certainly there are some exceptions. In respect to the passenger limitations, for the first 6 months, they can have only one passenger under the age of 20 unless they're accompanied by a parent or guardian. Siblings, however, are exempt. Now, what I mean by siblings would be brothers, sisters, stepbrothers, stepsisters, but not cousins or anybody else. Now, for the second 6 months, the midnight to 5 a.m. limitation is removed, and the passenger limitation for anybody under the age of 20 goes from one passenger to 3 passengers, unless, of course, they have a parent or guardian in the vehicle with them. And again, the siblings are exempt from that.
What are the consequences if a student does violate the law and say they're in the first 6 months of having their license and they have 3 kids in the car?
Right.
What happens?
Well, that would be considered any sort of a violation of the driver license itself. So it'd be a $300 fine potentially, but there's no jail time or anything like that associated with it. But the whole idea is to limit the exposure to high-risk driving environments, distractions, things of that nature. So again, it's been proven to work in other states pretty well.
Right. And Sandy, we were talking about and what are the consequences to teen drivers in other states, and apparently they go back to the beginning. So why don't you talk a little bit about what you know about that in other states?
Other states have varying rules, so it really does go by state what the enforcement is and what the penalties may be. The state of New Jersey actually has the highest age at age 17 for full licensure, so it really varies by state, but you're right on target with limiting passengers and nighttime restrictions being a focus, as we've seen that that reduces the risk of crashes. A lot of exemptions after 6 months, so we probably would encourage a stronger stand on limiting passengers even after that initial phase on that. But it does, some states are being more proactive, and some states on their penalty phases, they lose and go backwards in the process of graduated driver's licensing. So if they do have an infraction, say they have too many passengers, part of the penalty is they have to start all over. And so you're taking away a huge piece to that teen as far as the plastic card and having the responsibility and the privilege to drive. So congratulations on the work that you did and the advocacy that the youth were involved in getting this far on that.
Mitch, why don't you talk a little bit about what, not only in Wright County, but also in the Buffalo Police Department, how you're getting this message out to parents and to their teens?
Well, first of all, as you know, we had a group formed in Wright County, in eastern Wright County, back in 1997 called Safe Communities. And that group they really had 2 focuses. One was commuter driving, and the other was youth drivers. And we did quite an educational campaign on that over a series of years. The first 2 years of that campaign alone, we saw a reduction of 32% of crashes just within that target area. So we really saw that as a successful strategy and tried to continue on with that, very much like some of what the students are doing.